Hey guys, I had a completely different video planned for you this week, but in light of all the things that have happened, I feel like I need to make this video. And just to let you know, this video is going to be completely stream of consciousness, so I don't even know how much of it will make it into the final count, so bear with me. But here we go. So, we are 7 months into this year, just a little more than halfway through, and we have already had a tragic amount of police shootings and shooting of police. And every time something like this happens, I see the same thing all over social media, whether you use Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. Within 5 minutes of the shooting today in Baton Rouge, already it was Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, All Lives Matter. It was people saying that it was the president's fault, it was Donald Trump's fault, it was various politicians' fault. I even saw it was some celebrities' fault for whatever movement they support. And I was having a conversation with a woman on Twitter, and she had tweeted that the president needed to be more authoritative and he needed to take action. And we talked about it, and I started to think to myself, well, what could he do? What could any of us do? And of course, there are the policy discussions that we have after every one of these things happens. Gun control, not letting people on the no-fly list buy weapons, better gear for the police, arming everyone. But the truth is, none of that is going to work, and we know it. We all know it. But we're just clamoring for something to do. And if we really want to figure out how to fix this problem, if we really want to figure out how to end this violence, we need to take a long, hard look in the mirror, all of us, everyone in this country. Because these policy changes, these changes to laws, the United States has some of the harshest, if not the harshest, penalties for murder. And yet, we have an unprecedented and unmatched amount of mass killings and police slayings. And why is that? It's because the conversation today is no longer a conversation. And I don't want to blame it on anything in particular. It could be the internet, it could be the way we treat each other, it could be just generational, but we have insulated ourselves into our own little channels of belief, and even I do it. But when you see a tweet that you disagree with, a YouTube video that you disagree with, a Facebook post that you disagree with, what do? You immediately look at that argument and you say, that's bullshit. Either that guy's an idiot, or he's making it up, or his facts are wrong, he's getting it from some false or erroneous website. And I'm the type of person that really likes to believe that my allegiance is to logic. That if you present me with an argument that makes sense, even if it's different from my own, I will adopt it. But I know that that is not always true. And what happens is we separate ourselves into our own bases, into our own armies, into our own little collectives and groups. And then when something like this happens, we allow ourselves to be whipped up in furor and rage and anger, and we just begin to yell. And we yell so loud that we can't even hear what the other person is saying. And I'm not trying to paint any movement with a broad brush. I know movements on both sides were started with good intentions. They really believe, and still believe, there are still these people in these movements that still believe that they, by advancing the conversation in non-violent and compassionate ways, can really change the suffering of whoever they're representing. The problem is these movements get infiltrated by people who are just blinded with rage, and they're just looking for an outlet. And when we're not open to that conversation, when we refuse to hear what the other person says, we doom ourselves to this kind of violence. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you, me, everybody in this country is just a little bit culpable for the things that are happening. We created this culture where it's okay to just refuse to listen to another side. It's reasonable and normal to just ignore information we disagree with. If we're going to fix this problem, if we are going to end this violence, it's going to be through compassion, it's going to be through understanding, and it's going to be through love. And that sounds like platitudes. I know it does. And it sounds like somebody's trying to spoon feed you another helping of bullshit. And I get that. I really get that. But the truth, as I see it, is that the only way this is going to end is if adults step forward and sit down at the table with the understanding that the other person is a person. And whether you agree with their views or not, even if you think they're misguided, that person has a reason for believing what they do. And if we can sit down like adults and have those hard conversations without judgments, we might learn something from each other. And in learning where the other side is coming from, we begin to build those bridges. And then we stop seeing the other person for what they wrote on Facebook or who they voted for last year or what kind of bumper sticker they have on the back of their car or what religion or race or gender they are. And we start to see them as people. We got to stop putting up walls of anger and hate and sorrow. And we need to all come together and realize that if there is a solution, if there's anything that can be done, it takes all of us. Anyway, if you like this video, I'm just getting started. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit like, post a comment. It's an open forum. It really helps me out. Share this video all over the internet. And I'll see you next time. Hopefully under better circumstances.